Good morning and welcome to Nefesh B'Nefesh's 64th Heidi Rothberg Aliyah Charter Flight livestream broadcast. I'm Nefesh B'Nefesh's Zionist Education Initiative Senior Educator, Uri Pilchowski.
And I'm Daniel Geller, Nefesh B'Nefesh's Zionist Education Initiative's educator. And on a usual day, we'd be back at our Aliyah campus in Jerusalem, teaching Zionism to various groups who are visiting Israel. But today is certainly not a normal day.
No, today is not a normal day, Daniel. Today we are welcoming 215 new Olim, new immigrants to Israel. We are grateful to Mrs. Heidi Rothberg for sponsoring today's Aliyah charter flight. We recognize Heidi for her unwavering commitment to Aliyah in general and Lone Soldier Olim in particular. Heidi's support sends a message loud and clear that building and strengthening Israel is critical for Israel and diaspora communities. That Aliyah and the Heidi Rothberg charter flight brings together the very best of our nation. Now, Daniel, our partners for today's flight, as you can see, it's taxiing in, are the Ministry of Aliyah and Integration, the Jewish Agency for Israel, Karen Kayemet Yisrael, JNF USA, the Jewish Federation of North America, and Sofim Garin Sabar.
Wow, thank you so much to all of our partners, and we also want to recognize the generosity of Lou Cohen and family from Baltimore who continue to support and invest in Israel's most precious resource, its people. By investing in New Olim, Lou's investment is a gift with ongoing returns to the State of Israel. And in fact, the contribution to the State of Israel by Nefesh B'Nefesh Olim since our founding is more than $4 billion.
Wow.
So we are tremendously grateful to Lou and his continued investment and so many who make this possible. And when we think about this flight as it's taxing, you see right before you, what is so special about today's flight? You have 215 people making Aliyah today, 22 families, 15 singles, 45 lone soldiers, 7 physicians, 15 medical professionals, and so much more. Rev Uri, what sticks out to you? What is so special about today's flight?
Well, I got to tell you, what sticks out for me as we're about to watch them, roll out the red carpet and the staircase onto the plane, is that our youngest Ole, get you ready for this, is 4 months old today. And our most senior Olet is 77 years old. Today's flight originated at New York's JFK Airport. It departed last night, and there was a ceremony and a festive send-off that we got to watch. It wasn't live broadcast like this, but we got to see pictures of it, and it seemed like everybody's wishing their family well and off, and now they are sitting on this plane, excited to get off.
Right, important to note, the ceremony begins well before the plane lands in Israel, back at the airport in JFK, with all 215 Olim and their families. We have so many notable dignitaries that are in attendance that speak to the Olim on a very intimate level, and they get to know Olim, see them up close, and we like to welcome them and thank them for making the trip out to JFK and also joining us on our flight today. We have the Director General of Israel's Ministry of Aliyah and Integration, Avichai Kahana, who has been a tremendous partner in all of the work Nefesh B'Nefesh does, and we're so grateful for Avichai and the entire team at the Ministry of Aliyah and Integration for their continued work. And joining us on today's flight, we have the Chief Program Officer and the head of the Jewish Agency for Israel's delegation, Netta Katz-Epstein, who has been instrumental as Nefesh B'Nefesh has increased its on-the-ground programming in America this year. You can follow all the action as a Nefesh B'Nefesh staff fly out all across America to help thousands and thousands of Olim as they consider and work on their journey back to Israel. So thank you, Netta, for all of your help and joining us today. And of course, today on today's flight, the Senior Vice President of the Americas of El Al Israel Airlines, Mark Cavalier, and it wouldn't be a Nefesh B'Nefesh charter flight without the El Al flight right there, right on the screen, and we are so grateful to El Al for their continued partnership over the past 21 years with Nefesh B'Nefesh.
And our flight today is on the Tel Aviv Jaffa airplane. As those of you that know El Al know that every plane is named after a city. Today's is Tel Aviv Jaffa. And just as a key to really getting into this broadcast, you have to feel the excitement, feel the rejuvenation, feel how new it is for the families that we're going to have today. I want to read off just some stats that we have. Daniel read off about the how many families and singles, people that will be responsible for serving in the Israeli army once they make Aliyah. There are 17 retirees, 75 children. We have medical professionals. We have software engineers, people going into education, social work, psychologists. Now, where are these people from? Incredible. They're from Arizona and British Columbia and California, Connecticut. So many people from Illinois. We're going through the list guests yesterday, places in Illinois I'd never heard of. There are people who are coming from Massachusetts and Michigan and Minnesota and Missouri and New Jersey and New York and Ohio and Ontario, Pennsylvania, Quebec, Texas, Washington, Wisconsin. We could go on and on and on.
We really can.
Yeah, I'm not going to stop, but I want to tell you where they're going. They're going to places all over the state of Israel. They're going to Afikim and Afula and Beit Shemesh and Eilat, Ein Tzurim, Gazit, Givatayim, Givat, Washington, Haifa, Yerushalayim, all over Mali Adumim, Mitzpah, Yericho, Ramat Yochanan, Rechovo, Rishon LeZion. We could just go on and do this all day long.
And I think that's really the beauty of these charter flights. You see the diversity, the tapestry of the Jewish people who are making Aliyah. And just while this is the focus on this flight, think about in 21 years of Nefesh B'Nefesh history, that the amount of communities you settled, you just listed, it sounds like 60, but Nefesh B'Nefesh Olim have actually settled in over 180 communities all over Israel. We've had over 11,000 people go to Israel's periphery, up in our Go Beyond program in the north and in the south. We have, as we said, I've done 64 of these flights, and we've seen every type of Jew come across to Israel making Aliyah. We've helped over 940 physicians. We've helped over 3,000 medical professionals. And these are the people who are coming to build our country and building everything that we're all about here at Nefesh B'Nefesh. With that, we're going to turn it over to Meir, who's on the tarmac with our first interview as we're about to see the first Olim emerge from the plane.
Okay, Meir, go ahead, take us away. I think that's Laura with you. Is that Laura?
Hi, yes, we're standing with Laura Ben David, whose mother's on the flight. She was an Ola on the first flight. I'm Meir Grummer from Nefesh B'Nefesh, and how are you feeling right now?
So incredibly excited. I cannot believe after 21 years that my mother's making Aliyah. It's just amazing.
And you also have other family on the flight, correct?
Yes, I have a nephew and niece that are on the flight as well, her grandson.
Amazing. So what message do you want to send to them and the people at home watching?
I know that there are a lot of people who have stayed up late at night watching, and a lot of people who are in Israel who couldn't be because there's no ceremony here, but everybody is so excited, and I'm so excited to be here representing everyone to give that first hug to my mother, and it's just an incredible, incredible feeling. It never gets old. It's amazing.
100%. All right. Back to you, Rabbi Uri and Daniel.
Okay, thank you, Meir, and thank you, Laura. You could sense the excitement, and it's palpable, the excitement that we have on the tarmac, the feeling that you have there. I hope you're getting it, whether you're watching in America, you're watching in Canada, you're watching in Europe, you're watching in Israel, Australia, wherever you are watching. I want to tell you about a special group of people that are going to be on this plane. They are the young people who are going to be responsible for serving in the IDF once they make Aliyah. They are lone soldiers, and it's part of our lone soldier program in partnership with the IDF and friends of the IDF. The FIDF. We do a bunch of programs with them, including Yom Sidurim, which is a personal errands day, where 2,500 active lone soldiers from 70 countries come together. They have tailors, they have barbers, they have driver's license people. You can take your driver's license test. It is an incredible, incredible program. Garin Sabar is a partner on our flight. It's the only program in Israel which provides a comprehensive support system to individuals before moving to Israel, as well as during and after their military service. I just want to tell you two amazing stats I saw about Garin Sabar. 80% of their alumni stay in Israel, and 35% of alumni families follow their children and make Aliyah.
Really amazing opportunities to think how far Israel's come, that there's so much support for lone soldiers across the board. Our own lone soldier program here at Nefesh B'Nefesh services over 3,000 lone soldiers every year. They have a 24/7 hotline. What don't they do? They help you from pre to post, as we say, as you're thinking about drafting, and even after your army experience. Once you've gotten out of the army, they're there for you every step of the way. And to think, as I know we're awaiting the door opening, but these experiences exist with us throughout the entire year, that you can join Nefesh B'Nefesh. You can volunteer, see the opportunities. Just in our Jerusalem campus alone, we hosted 300 lone soldiers for a Thanksgiving meal, that they could have a festive Thanksgiving turkey. Our entire staff comes, and we actually serve those who serve us. And that's what this is all about, that we're always thinking about service, how we can help our Olim, regardless of what stage of life they're in. We have a very wide range, as we mentioned before, of Olim that are coming on today's flight. And I do want to point out, we see on the bottom of the stairs, we'd like to welcome the Minister of Aliyah and Integration, Ophir Sofer, who is joining us on today's flight. He is an incredible advocate and has spoken from day one since taking office about the value of North American Olim and how we should cherish that relationship with the diaspora, helping bring them home, giving them any resources they need. And we're so grateful that he's joining us today.
You can only imagine, Daniel, the feeling on the plane right now. Just picture it for a second. All these families have been through a 10-hour flight, direct flight from New York. They're sitting there. They've announced on the plane that they're landing. They know that at any minute they're going to open up that door and they're going to restart their lives in a dream, and an absolute dream. And Rabbi Fass, who's the CEO and founder of Nefesh B'Nefesh, always talks about that these flights allow him and us to experience Aliyah with these Olim. It's incredible experiencing it with them. We're inspired by their excitement. You see on the screen the Minister of Aliyah walking up the stairs to welcome the newest Olim to Israel right now. And this is a moment of true inspiration for all of us. For decades, these people dreamed they'd be able to live in Eretz Yisrael. They prayed for it, they wished it, and they imagined it. They dreamed it, as Herzl said, and today they begin living it. They are living theirs and countless others' dreams. They live with the excitement of destiny fulfilled, dreams realized. This is an absolute amazing moment as we watch as the Minister of Aliyah steps in the plane, and let's see, he's going to address everybody.
ברוכים הבאים, כל כך כיף לראות, להרגיש, להיות איתכם פה ברגעים הכל כך מיוחדים האלו. אנשים שמקבלים החלטה לעזוב את המולדת השנייה שלהם ולחזור למולדת הראשונה שלהם כאן למדינת ישראל. אתם ממש המשך של שיבת ציון. אנחנו ממשיכים את שיבת ציון, לא מפסיקים אותה. והבנתי שיש כאן משהו מאוד מרגש, מאוד מיוחד, קבוצה של הדור הבא של החיילים שלנו, שעולים ממש כדי לשרת בצה"ל.
For those that don't understand the Hebrew, he's just welcomed those young people who will be serving in the IDF as part of their responsibilities of making Aliyah, thanking everybody and talking about how the tradition of Aliyah continues and returning to Zion.
תודה רבה גם לצוות המשרד, שזו בפעם הראשונה המנכ"ל ומקסים שהובילו את התהליך של הקליטה תוך כדי. הנה אני רואה את הפנים של הרב פייס.
And he's talking about how on the plane, which is an amazing thing. This is really what I think is so special about Nefesh. When I remember when I, in 2014, was on one of these charter flights, is how his staff helped people already get started on their Aliyah process. The paperwork was done on the plane. Something absolutely amazing to see. So these people are going to be able to step through the bureaucracy, a lot of the bureaucracy, when they get off the plane already.
Absolutely, and I can appreciate, this is the Nefesh experience right here, that they're providing every step of the way. You have on the plane people processing you so they can streamline the experience at the airport, and even you hear the emotion in the minister's voice, how excited he is, and says that we're not stopping, we're continuing on with the mission of Aliyah.
Now, most people, when they get off flights, they're tired, they're exhausted, they're cranky, they're hangry, but these people are excited. Watch, you're going to see they're happy, they're joyous. Now, the people walking down, I recognize them, they work in our office, so they're not the Olim yet, but in a second you're about to see, we saw a second ago, the Olim getting ready to step off the plane. One of the first Olim that we're going to watch is Laura, who we just saw her mom, Carol. I'll tell you when she comes off the plane, but these are going to be our very first Olim that step off the plane, and there we see in the famous Nefesh B'Nefesh hats, these gray hats, that's Carol Ginsberg, who is making Aliyah, Laura Ben David's mother, who Laura Ben David was on our first flight 21 years ago, and now Mom is coming. She has her grandson on the plane, and this is an exciting moment. You're watching Rabbi Fass, our founder, along with Tony Gelbart, also our founder. The two of them are chairman of the board, two of them who run Nefesh B'Nefesh and make sure that all of this happens.
You have to imagine for Rabbi Fass and Tony Gelbart, having done this 64 times, being on every charter flight, and that excitement not dying down, feeling that obligation, that responsibility, how they service the entire community, and having brought close to 80,000 Olim to Israel. Obviously not all on charter flights like this, but every week we have planes landing in Israel, and you don't even need to come by plane anymore. You can make Aliyah from within Israel in a program we have called Guided Aliyah, and you can reach out to our office if you are interested in making Aliyah and you're already in Israel. You can always reach out, and we're happy to help.
Look at this. I love the different props that people bring when they step off the plane. We see our first prop is a massive Israeli flag. Some of the people you'll see will have handmade, ready-made T-shirts for them that they've made for their families with cute phrases on it. We'll try to read the T-shirts and see. You can hear the beginnings of the shouts and the excitement of people as they begin to welcome the Olim, the Minister of Aliyah, again there. And now I got to tell you, Daniel, people might think that we only do this once a year. But in truth is, we only do a charter flight once a year, but we have Olim landing every single week. We have thousands and thousands of Olim that come every year, and they land on regular flights. Not everybody comes on these charter flights. They come on regular flights. So this is an obviously exciting moment where we get to take over part of the airport and greet everybody in a celebratory fashion with government ministers and government representatives. But this happens all the time. Olim come, and I got to say, one message to take away from watching all of this and watching the excitement, as you can see the crowds gather at the bottom of the stairs to welcome everybody, is that you can do it too. This is something that Aliyah is not anymore an impossible dream like it was for thousands of years. This is something that people can do, and what's absolutely incredible about this this process, that these Olim, I'm going to quote the head of JNF of USA, Russell Robinson, who last year he said, these Olim are the people who will visit. You're looking at these people and you think, these are the people who are going to come visit in Israel on our next trip, and this is Israel. These people are Israel. This is the tomorrow of Israel. You're looking at these people as the tomorrow of Israel. And it's, again, I'm going to repeat the phrase, the excitement is palpable. Now, Daniel, I want to just go on a retrospect here for a moment and interrupt me if you see something that I should be pointing out. But when immigrants came to Israel in the 1950s, especially from North Africa, there was very limited resources in Israel. There wasn't enough food. They had to ration food. And Israelis complained to then Prime Minister David Ben-Gurion that they would collapse the entire country. Now, Ben-Gurion explained to them that Israel would have to support these Olim. But these Olim, their children, would end up supporting the country. Today, that's not true. Today, our Olim will directly and immediately be making contributions to the country.
Absolutely, and you can look all over the country if you need any inspiration from Olim who have absolutely changed the face of Israel. I just want to point out, they were on the screen not too long ago, but we wanted to welcome Gershon and Beverly Fern from Airmont, New York, who have just landed in Israel. They are making Aliyah, and while they both grew up in South Florida, they actually met at a Shabbat table in Jerusalem, and when they first got married, Beverly told Grant that she's happy to marry him on one condition, only if he moves to Israel. And look at them now, they're living that dream. That condition has come to fruition, and they have landed in Israel.
We just saw Carol Ginsburg fulfilling a tradition that is thousands of years old, that the rabbis in the Talmud used to get down on the ground and kiss the dirt of the ground. Now, granite, concrete, runway, not the same as the dirt of Akko, but the emotion and the idea of what is happening is key. I'm pretty sure we're looking at. No, maybe not. Let's hold off for a minute.
Quick interview for
but
the
we
live
are
stream?
watching more and more
Okay.
Olim come down off the plane. Now, the future of the Jewish people is clear. The future of the Jewish people is here in Israel. Whether you're religious, you're secular, somewhere in between, leading Jewish thought, tradition, and culture is all taking place in Israel today. And that's what these Olim are coming to join. In Israel, we're not just strengthening our identity, we're creating it. And the excitement in the streets of Israel, the constant building, the growth, the development is palpable. We've all felt it on our visits. We feel it when we come in on the streets, and the missions and the vacations here. There's a sense of pride, a shared enthusiasm of a partnership in something much larger than ourselves. This is happening all around us, and here we have a group of young ladies who are taking out their Israeli flag.
Let's go to the other side.
Picture. And it's just, you can see, look at the excitement. This is new. Their whole lives are restarting here in Israel. Coming into Israel is almost like a rebirth of our people. Okay. Now you can see what's amazing is the diversity of the Olim that are from all different backgrounds. These are not all one type of person that they yanked out of one community in America and stuck them on a plane. These people are all different types of Jews, and it's all that's the rainbow of our people is absolutely incredible. Okay, we're gonna go to Mayor now. I was on the tarmac with one of our Olim, and Mayor, go ahead.
Okay, hi everyone. The plane has landed. We're here with our first Olay interview, Mr. Greg Leviton. How does it feel?
It feels fantastic. It's a dream come true after over 20 years that we finally were able to realize it, and we worked for it, and we love Eretz Israel and all its people, and we finally get to come home and join all of you. And we're so proud, we're so happy, we're so grateful to HaKadosh Baruch Hu to the state of Israel, to all the people, and we finally get to enjoy our dreams. And then hopefully we will bring all our family and kids here too.
Amen, amen. And where are you moving to?
We are moving to Ramat Beit Shemesh Aleph.
Okay, and what are you most looking forward to in your new life in Israel?
Our new life in Israel, we are looking forward to being able to study Torah, to help the people of Israel in every way we can, to help realize the dream for every Jew all over the world so that they all can come home too.
Okay.
And now we're here to do it.
All right. Shkoyach, Mazal Tov.
Mazal Tov.
Back to you, Rabbi Uri and Daniel.
Thank you very much, Mayor. And we just saw coming down the stairs, we want to welcome to Israel Nava Barenholtz, who we have a lot of reasons to say Mazel Tov, not just making Aliyah and going to work in a seminary in Yerushalayim, but also for just getting engaged, and as her fiance is finishing up Hesder Yeshiva here. So welcome to Nava, and we are so excited. You could see the staff as they're schlepping down people's luggage, baby carriers. This is what we live for. And while you see them schlepping luggage today, think about the staff. They're actually working year-round with caseloads of over 200 Olim each, who are working there to help bring Olim home.
Daniel, I'm interrupting you. That's the youngest member. That's the youngest. That's got to be her. She's in a baby carrier being held. She's a couple steps up. You'll see her in a minute. Here we go. The camera. There she is. That's got to be our 4-month-old. And
Mazal Tov.
What's incredible is that you look at the future of these children. They're going to grow up with an American heritage. They'll probably speak English in their house. I'm not going to assume, but I assume so. And they're going to speak Hebrew like an Israeli. They're going to marry Israelis. They're going to live as Israelis and raise Israeli children. They're going to snicker at their parents' accents like my children do to mine, but their parents will not be embarrassed. They'll be so proud of the fact that they speak Hebrew fluently, and you're looking at the future of those children.
Right. And just to remind everyone, if you didn't catch the beginning of the broadcast, the oldest Oleh on today's flight is 77 years young, and the youngest Oleh is only 4 months old.
Yeah,
and you can see her on screen right now.
Now, you should know, Daniel, you were talking about our staff before. A lot of times you think that the people that are staff that are helping out are schleppers that we hire. Before you saw somebody schlepping a stroller, there he is. That's one of our vice presidents. There is absolutely nobody will stand on their laurels and say, well, that's beneath me here. You're looking at the Garin Savar. You see their T-shirts that they all wear. I can't read the T-shirt from where I'm sitting. Olim al Madim, Imadim probably, which means immigrants in uniform. These are all young people who understand that they have a responsibility to serve in the Israeli armed forces when they make Aliyah. So they come to make Aliyah, and then part of Israeli responsibility is serving in the army. That's what they're going to be doing. Some of these new Olim have parents and grandparents who served in the IDF. So that's a very, very exciting part of this flight are the people that serve. I want to mention our partnership with the Jerusalem municipality. Jerusalem is actually the #1 destination for our Olim. They expected 1,200 Olim will move to Jerusalem by this year's end.
Absolutely, and we just saw just a couple minutes ago, but we want to welcome Orit Ryder. Orit was actually in our building just 2 weeks ago with as she was the assistant director of an NCSY Jolt summer program, and her whole program came for Zionist education programming, and she came to us and said, I'm actually going to be on the charter flight. I'm coming back to Israel in 2 weeks, and I can't wait to be here. So welcome back, Orit. It's great to have you.
And as a point of pride, just so we could boast a little here as the Zionist Education Initiative, we actually have 3 participants. We're only 2 years old. We have 3 participants just on this flight alone, and unfortunately one of our participants couldn't make the flight. She was supposed to be on the flight, and we're thinking of you and have you in our thoughts and prayers.
Right, and we're excited. You see these smiling faces. To be perfectly honest, these Garin Sabarniks, these future Chayalim, and we salute all of our Chayalim, but they're going straight from the airport and prepping for their draft. They're wasting no time in their Aliyah process. They're making Aliyah, and then they're off, and their bags are already packed.
That's good. Okay, here we have our first T-shirts. You see, it says love. I see love, and ahava, and love in Hebrew with a flame. So that is, look, they even decorated their sleeves as a family that went all out. Very impressive. I want to talk about one person who excites me, who's making Aliyah on this flight, and his name is Kyle Feit. I'm not sure I'm going to recognize him, so I'm just going to speak about him. But Kyle Feit is actually going to be playing professional basketball for Hapoel Eilat. He's starting training at the end of August. That's about now, probably. He's probably got a couple days left. And then he's going to play his first game in October. Okay, we're going to go now to Meir, who's on the tarmac with one of our Olot. Looks like a young woman. And Meir, please take it away.
Okay. Hi, we're back here with another quick interview. We're here with Dalia. Dalia, where are you flying from?
East Brunswick, New Jersey.
And you're moving to?
Givau, Washington.
Okay, and what do you want the people at home to know that you made Aliyah? How are you feeling? What message do you want to send out?
That, it's always worth it to take the risk because people really want to have you here and want to have you for Shabbos and invite you over, and you're not going to realize all of that until you actually start the Aliyah process, and everyone's going to start reaching out to you and want to have you over. So it's scary at first, but you kind of just have to jump in.
And why did you make Aliyah?
It feels like home to me. It's felt the most like home than anywhere else I've ever been, so I just kind of felt it was the right place for me.
Okay, Mazal Tov, all the best. B'atzlacha. Back to you, Rabbi.
Okay, thanks. I got to tell you, that feeling of home, that's one of the exciting parts of making Aliyah, and that's definitely what inspired my family and I to make Aliyah, is that you feel at home here. And, people, even if they don't live at home, it's still their home. And that sense of everybody welcoming you home. You're looking at a picture of a lot of the younger people on the flight. This is the younger, more exciting, more energy-filled people on the flight. And you see now on the plane, you see a family getting ready. They have signs getting ready. And on the steps, you saw Nachum Siegel, who's a famous personality. We'll talk about him in a minute when we get back. One of the people, if you see in the back row, is Eitan Meir, who's from a place called Evanston, Illinois, and he's going to Kibbutz Ein Surim. He's going to be a lone soldier. He's the tall gentleman in the back with the beard. He studied psychology and neurobiology and minored in Jewish studies. Two of his siblings have already made Aliyah, and both of them also served in the IDF. But here's the amazing thing. I'm sorry if I break out crying for this. His late grandfather served in the religious division of the Tarmac in 1948, so he's continuing that family tradition.
Wow, absolutely amazing to think so many families on our flight today have that connection to Israel that goes back centuries, as so many of us do. As the Jewish people have always been trying to come to Israel and living that dream. We see on screen now. You see the Joseph family who are making Aliyah, and we welcome them as they're beginning a new journey with their young children. Always a kid in hand. It's an unforgettable model. You have every type of person making Aliyah on today's flight, and we're so excited to welcome all of them here. And you can see even some of our Aliyah advisors, some of our team leaders are helping schlep their luggage so they can have the best possible Aliyah. And here is the Himmelfarb family. Welcome to the Himmelfarbs. It is so exciting to have you. I can't even tell how many bags they have, but they're schlepping and getting ready for an amazing thing. Let us know on our social media who has the best shirt, who has the best experience coming down the stairs, who has the best picture. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know on all of our social media platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, you name it, we have it at Nefesh B'Nefesh.
Now, you look at the Himmelfarb family, and I got to reiterate the point that I made before, which is that there's no other flight in the world where a family with young children flying 10 hours gets off the plane smiling and excited. That was not normal. That speaks to the level of inspiration, the level of excitement that we have here. Okay, so we're going to go down to Meir, who's going to start an interview. We're going to have a couple of seconds. He's going to interview Eitan, who I spoke about a second ago, whose grandfather, served in the Tarmac. And as soon as Meir is all set up, we'll go to him because Eitan, coming from Evanston, Illinois. Let's see, Meir, we're ready whenever you are. Go take it away.
Thank you, Rabbi Uri. I'm here with Eitan. Shalom Meir. My name is also Meir. So
nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Welcome home.
Thank you very much.
So you're going to join the army?
I am. I'm going to join the army in November. God willing, yeah.
What feelings do you have going into this major part of your life?
I'm excited. I'm nervous. But most of all, I'm just happy to be here. Yeah, it's really exciting, and it's really important that I make Aliyah, and I'm glad that I did it. So, yeah.
And what is like what is the main reason you think that you made Aliyah?
Just like family history, and I've always wanted to live in Israel, and just being a part of the Jewish people here in Israel is really important for me to continue that legacy.
Do you have any idea where you want to live once you're ready and settled?
Well, I'm going to be living on Kibbutz Ein Surim. I'm doing Garin Sabar, so I'll be living on Ein Surim. But after that, maybe Jerusalem. I'm not sure yet. So, yeah.
Any other message, anything you want to say to the people at home, people staying up to watch you?
So much for supporting Israel, and it's important that we continue to support Israel, so thank you so much.
All right, that's all the best. Thank you. Back to you, Rabbi.
Thank you to Mayor and Mayor. It's so good to see this. And while Kibbutz Ein Surim is not quite like Evanston, Illinois, every time I go back to America, I hear these same words that I'm longing to return. This is what we're all about, and I think Mayor hit it right on the head, saying like this is where I want to be. This is where we should be, and he even thanks to so many people who make this possible, not just Nefesh B'Nefesh staff, but as we mentioned before, Heidi Rothberg, and here on the 64th charter. To imagine that, I can't imagine if Rabbi Fass and Tony Gelbart, when they started Nefesh B'Nefesh, they thought we'd be here today, 64 charter flights later.
Forget about Tony and Rabbi Fass and what they thought 20 years ago.
Yeah, what do you got?
Imagine David Ben-Gurion. Did he think about this? Did Theodore Herzl think about this? When Avram Avinu was told that his children would take over this land, did he picture a festive moment like this? Or did he picture people traversing the desert for thousands of miles through danger? What was going through their minds? But you look at this, children and parents, families, single people, all different diverse Jews from all different backgrounds. These are not homogeneous people. These are people that are all part of one nation, but so different. And it brings back a quote, one of my favorite quotes from David Ben-Gurion, who said that a Jew who does not believe in miracles is not a realist, which is so almost counterintuitive to think that a realist is somebody who believes in miracles. But the amount of events that had to fall in line for the state of Israel to come about, Daniel, to survive and thrive is just almost impossible to explain in a natural way. The only way the Jewish people could have evicted the British, win an international vote to establish the state of Israel, win 10 wars and operations, beat all the challenges and hurdles that we've had, it has to be through a series of miracles. And that's not something that we shy away from saying. But as Ben-Gurion said, a Jew does not believe in miracles is simply not a realist.
And what a miracle, especially this year as we celebrate 75 years. Yom HaAtzmaut. We
Yes.
celebrated an unbelievable celebration here in the streets. Absolutely, you should feel free to come by next time. If you're watching from America, you're not going to want to miss the 76th.
Yeah, that's true. Every year it's incredible. We're watching these children. Look at how excited these children are. And by the way, notice no devices in their hands. They're just excited in the moment. That's something else that's unique. These children understand what they're getting into and what they're involved in, and the difference that they're going to have as they're given their first cold bottle of Israeli water as they get off the plane. And we're watching the families experiencing their first Israel traffic jam on the steps of the plane, trying to get down the steps, and people taking pictures. This is a moment in their lives that they are not going to forget. It doesn't matter how young they are. This will be a picture that's going to go on the mantle, and it's going to be absolutely incredible. One of the young families that we were talking about, Mayor has them ready for an interview. We apologize for the delay of a couple seconds every time, but Mayor, we're ready when you are. I'm not sure. I don't want to guess which family this is. So Mayor, go ahead.
Here. Okay,
so
I'm here with Leah. Here, look at the camera over there. Okay, so everyone's watching at home, staying up late to watch you make Aliyah. What do you want to say? What message do you want to tell them?
So I'm very happy that we're making Aliyah, because I really like living in the Jewish hometown, and that my cousins are here, so I really love that I can be with them a lot now.
Okay, and what are you most looking forward to now that you're in Israel?
I'm very excited to be at the Kotel and see everyone's over there and write notes.
Okay, Mazal Tov, all the best. B'atzlacha. Come. All right. That's all the kids for now. Back to you, Rabbi.
Okay, that was great, Mayor. Thank you so much. You know, I got to tell you, when I see hundreds of Jewish children skipping through the streets of Jerusalem's Old City on their way to the Kotel, as Leah said so well, on their way to study, either studying Torah or just to see the Kotel or experience Jerusalem's Old City, I know that our people's future is here in Israel. New immigrants in Israel don't want to be on the sidelines for our future. Our people's future is here, and they want to play a part in it. And that's why these people are coming. That's why they're stepping off this plane with such excitement. You see this little boy with his Israeli flag. That's his new flag. That's going to be his new country. Boy, this boy has such an exciting life in front of him.
And we during the course of the interview, we saw the Deitch family come down the stairs, and we want to welcome all 6 of them to Israel as they're moving from Pennsylvania to Beit Shemesh. And not only are they making the move, but they're also contributing in one of the ways that Israel is so focused on now, that Zach will be working in Hadassah Hospital. As a medical professional, we're always excited to welcome medical professionals as they build our entire medical system here in this country. And on that, Nefesh B'Nefesh is always trying to do more for any medical professionals who are interested in making Aliyah. In fact, we run a conference every year in New Jersey called MedX, where we welcome over 400 medical professionals to learn about Aliyah. This year, we even hosted a taste of MedX for medical students, where they can start thinking about their Aliyah process, what they want to specialize in, how that'll work in Israel. And we are so excited to welcome the more than 25 medical professionals on today's flight.
Now, Daniel, I don't know when they're going to get off the plane. I'm not as good as you that you recognize people, that you've never met before. But I just want to tell a story because I don't know if we're going to get to it. Actually, you know what? This is, I'm going to go with this story. The Lautman family, okay? They're coming from Bronx, New York. Now, you got to hear this story, Daniel. I don't care who's getting off the plane. Do not interrupt the story. Everybody sitting at home, buckle your seatbelts for this one. So there's Yaniv and Taya Lautman are coming with their 3 children, and they're going to be moving to Renana. But listen, remember I said they're moving to Renana, okay? Yaniv's grandfather, Kurt, fled Vienna during World War II.
By the way, that's a Lautman family.
Perfect timing. Okay, great. Okay, so after running through the forest along with his brother, they were caught by German patrol officers. Instead of immediately killing the brothers, they were given a 10-second countdown before being shot. And miraculously, they survived. Now, here's the best part of the story. After arriving in what was then called Palestine, they managed to bring their parents to Israel as well. They bought a small patch of land near Kfar Saba, which today is called Renana.
No way.
And they are moving to that same small patch that their grandfather bought. And now their grandfather realized that farming wasn't for them. And Yaniv is not a farmer. He works in advertising and in lighting. And Talia is going to be an occupational therapist here. But that is an incredible story. Could his grandfather, who's looked at this patch and said, I'm not a farmer, forget this, imagine that his grandson, years later, would come back and buy that plot of land and be able to live back in Renana. Absolutely incredible. And that's the story of the Jewish people. We're returning to our land, returning home. Look at the smiles on these people's faces. You feel the excitement.
Absolutely.
I'm excited. This is absolutely incredible.
I'm almost speechless, if not having to do this broadcast. But even on that, we'd also like to point out to the Hurt family, Avi and Esther Hurt, who are coming from West Hempstead, New York. And they also, in telling their story, they talk about that both of their grandfathers had dreamed that their grandchildren would one day live in Israel. And they're living that dream today. It starts today at just stepping off of this plane onto the tarmac here at Ben Gurion Airport. And you have to imagine that their Avi's Holocaust surviving ancestors, the tears that are brought to their faces, the tears that are brought to all of our ancestors, as anyone who's stepping off this plane, fulfilling this lifelong dream, is really something that was at one point unfathomable.
Yeah, that's wow! Just the absolute incredible stories. Now, I have to say that the Jewish journey, This is I'm going to give you a quote from former Israeli President Reuven Rivlin. The Jewish journey started in the land of Israel, and it always strove to return there against all odds and against all limitations. Israelis, we see ourselves as having thousands of years of history in this land. It's not just we've been here for 75 years or 150 years. The history has generated a strong connection between the Jewish people and the land of Israel. The land is an essential component to the Jewish people, and that's what former President Rivlin was referring to when he spoke about the Jewish people's relationship with Israel.
Amazing. And just seeing coming off the stairs now at the bottom, we just saw E.T. Lustiger, and an old-time friend of mine. We actually went to university together, so it's so excited that he's joining some of his family members who are already here. And at the top of the stairs, we saw the Halpern family. The Halpern family who are coming from from Pennsylvania. They're moving all the way to Ramat Beit Shemesh. David is psychiatrist. Tamar is psychologist, and they always wanted to live in Israel. Both of them who have grandparents who are Holocaust survivors and come from tremendously Zionist families. And you see that Zionism manifesting today. You see where it's coming to. And now we're going to shoot it over to Meir on the tarmac, who is ready with our next Olah.
Okay, everyone. Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, Daniel. I'm here with Yarin. Yarin, where are you flying from?
I'm flying from Long Island, New York.
Okay, and you're making Aliyah. Why did you make Aliyah?
Because I'm becoming a lone soldier in the Tzahal Israel, and I'm very excited to protect my country, and yeah.
And do you know where you're going to serve yet or not yet?
Not yet, no.
What are you most looking forward to now in your life in Israel?
I'm looking to draft to the army. That's why I came. Also, just to live here. I love the culture. I love this country. Yeah, I've always wanted to come back here, so.
And what message do you want to send to the people at home staying up late to watch this, to watch you come home?
If you want to make Aliyah, it's going to be amazing. I know I'm going to have the best journey from now on, so if you're thinking about it, go through with it, and yeah, that's it.
All right, B'atzlacha. Welcome home. Back to you, Rabbi.
Welcome indeed, and absolutely, if you are interested in Aliyah, call our office, come by to our Jerusalem campus. You have every opportunity to learn more. Nefesh B'Nefesh staff are always there for you around the clock to help you figure out that process if you're interested.
And you can do this. These people are regular average people. You know, Israelis watching the news this morning and are going to see these clips, look at these people as supermen and superwomen and super children, but they are really just your average American and Canadian Jew that are getting on the plane. So if you're looking at this and you're watching this late at night and you're sitting there and your eyes are starting to droop and you're thinking to yourself, could this be me? The answer is yes, it could. And 78,000 people have done this already. And those 78,000 people, Dan, you ready for this? This is my favorite Nefesh B'Nefesh stat, have given birth to over 30,000 people. 30,000 children born here from our Olim. That is absolutely incredible. Can I give you a tidbit, Daniel? Is this a tidbit? Our partner, the Jewish Agency, was founded by the WZO on August 11th. Just a couple days ago, they celebrated their 94th anniversary. And what better way to celebrate than by bringing in new Olim?
Wonderful.
And we're going to go to Meir on the tarmac, who has two new Olot who are in their Garin Savar t-shirts. So these are young people. And Meir, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Rabbi. Here we are. What are your names?
Shira Rub.
Roni Shacham.
And where are you making Aliyah from?
Cleveland, Ohio.
Toronto, Canada.
And you're joining the army, yeah? Yeah. So what are you most looking forward to? What's like, what was the driving factor for your Aliyah, for your joining the service?
Definitely the people and the Israelis and all of the amazing experiences that I will have.
I think just the culture in general. I'm much more connected to it. It just feels more at home. It feels more me.
Okay. And what's something that you're like, something about, you know, maybe after Aliyah, after your service, what's something about Israel that you're most looking forward to, that's going to keep you here, that's going to keep you going in your life in Israel?
My family.
Definitely all from the experiences I will learn. Like life skills, and I hope to keep my service with me forever, like the experiences of my service.
And just like Emunah in general keeps me here. I just think it's so much stronger here. It's so beautiful. I love it.
Beautiful. I love it. All right. Any other messages? Anything you want to say? Anybody who's still up? It's almost...
My family's watching. I love you.
מה קורה אמא ואבא? מה שלומכם? דניאל, עידו, יונתן.
Okay, that's it. You got it here first. Back to you, Rabbi.
Okay, that's that love that you hear. By the way, I think that's an unfair advantage. Her Hebrew really has the Israeli accent, and that's after 15 minutes stepping on the plane. By the way, just again, focus on these children. They have been on the move for about 20 hours now. We've been leaving their house, getting on what I don't know, it was a taxi or whatever took them to the airport, their Ubers, and then standing at JFK, going through the security and the check-in and everything, and then getting on this plane and then getting off the plane, standing on the tarmac before they get on their bus to get into the airport. All obviously worth it. And you see, I haven't seen one crying child, not one child having a fit, standing on the tarmac and throwing their hands and feet up and down and refusing to move. By the way, that was
our executive vice president.
CFO, yeah, who was just walking by or carrying somebody else's baby seat. So that's pretty impressive.
You know, I'd like to point out just a couple people there. We see it all here at Nefesh B'Nefesh, and you see it all coming off the plane. You see singles, families, retirees. We have it all. Something so special is that there's a couple siblings, sets of siblings on today's flight, and we just want to point out David and Shoshana Weintraub, who are making Aliyah together today as brother and sister. Shoshana, who will be going and starting her master's degree at the Technion in biomedical engineering, and her brother David, who is going to become a lone soldier and starting in Hesder Yeshiva. And we want to wish them mazel tov, wish them a ton of luck as they start this new journey. But how much more powerful that they're starting it together.
That's incredible. I'm going to match you.
Let's go.
Joseph Bingham. Okay, Joseph Bingham is from a place called Urbana, Illinois. And what's so amazing about his Aliyah today, okay, is that this is his first time in Israel. He just completed his PhD in computers and electronics. He's going to be working on a postdoc on focusing on computer-based cancer research. He's just stepping off the plane.
He's never been
to Israel.
Oh,
and he's moving here sight unseen. That is really, really impressive. You're looking at the buses that are going to take our Olim to the arrival hall in Ben Gurion. It's not the arrival hall that you're going to go to when you land in Israel. For those watching, unless you're making Aliyah with us on our charter flight, this is the arrival hall that is mostly focused on Olim. Sometimes flights from Eilat. There's actually a flight coming in from Eilat this morning. So that's incredible. Let's talk about what another amazing power couple on this flight, Rabbi Sheldon and Dina Storch. Now, you know who they are, even if you don't recognize the names, because Mrs. Storch, Rebbetzin Storch, is a composer and has composed over 650 songs. Now, I was shocked by this, so I started looking up some of her songs.
Of course.
A lot of them, Mordechai Ben David songs, so I actually knew these songs. She's going to be training piano teachers, and when she got engaged, okay, now I'm not going to tell you how old they are, but they didn't get engaged yesterday. Okay, they've got grandchildren, and when they got engaged, she told her husband that she wanted a piano instead of a diamond ring. Now, if I can get through this sentence without crying, I'll be impressed. They're bringing the piano with them to Israel. Now, what you're looking at here is the arrival hall with soldiers who are here to greet the Olim as they get off the bus from the tarmac. Now, going back to the Storches, Rabbi Storch has been a principal in many schools for 30 years. They're going to Afula, okay? They're going to Afula, and he's going to be opening up a kollel, community kollel, and he's going to be training teachers at the kollel to be educators, leaders, and principals. They've already got 4 children and 11 grandchildren who live in Yerushalayim. So this is a homecoming in many, many different ways for them. Now,
Rabbi, I'm sorry, I just have to interrupt you. I just got a text from a friend of mine all the way in Phoenix, Arizona, saying that she's watching this live and she's so proud of her brother who's making Aliyah today and drafting into Garin Sabar. Welcome and mazel tov to Akiva, and we can't wait to greet him here all in Israel. And all the Garin Sabarniks I just saw on this bus right here that's going off to the terminal. You can see Mayor in the shot. I also just saw Ophir Agmoni, who is coming from Livingston, New Jersey, making Aliyah to Tel Aviv. He's also going to be a Chayal Boded, a lone soldier. He's also going into Garin Sabar. He's going and contributing just like his family. His sister has already made Aliyah, and we're so excited to welcome him and all the Garin Sabar future Chayalim Bodadim.
Now, there you got me to check my phone.
Let's go.
I'm not gonna check my phone. But I also got a message from somebody all the way further than Phoenix in Los Angeles. Joshua Lefferman is part of the Garin Sabar on this flight, and his dad Matt sent me a message to please give a shout out to Josh and that Ola. Okay, so we are. Well, okay, so
you see now as the last Olim are really off the plane, it's really just the flight crew that's exiting. So our Olim are all off to the terminal. They're off to pick up their bags. They're off to get that final processing as they become officially Israeli. They go through passport control, and they're going to be greeted by not just soldiers, a ton of Never staff, and over 300 visitors who are in the terminal waiting for them and cannot wait to greet Israel's newest citizens.
Now, early Zionists, I have to tell you, envisioned a Jewish state that would provide the Jewish people with a home where they could determine their own future and ensure their safety and security. Their goal, Daniel, was to guarantee that the Jews would never have to rely on anyone else for their own safety. And today's Israel is the achievement of their goals. The future of the Jewish people, as you can see on your cameras here in Israel, and those that move here are going to get a front row seat to watch it unfold. It's only at home in Israel that you can enjoy those front row seats to the Jewish future. And I got to tell you that we're talking about Aliyah. The word Aliyah, for those, maybe there's people that don't know the word where it comes from. It means to go up, to rise up, and moving to Israel has never been considered a lateral move for the Jewish people. The word Aliyah means to go up because moving to Israel has always been seen as an improvement. We are going up to greater and greater things. So
absolutely, and you see as the bus is just on its way to get dropped off at arrivals, but we see this love that these soldiers have for not just the Olim who are going to be drafting, but every Ole. Having never met them, they don't get the fact sheet like we do. They have no idea who's on this flight, but you see, and we'll see in the arrivals hall very shortly, the love that Israel has for New Olim, that Aliyah, that ascension that everyone on this flight is having. I also just saw on this bus, and I want to give a shout out to Shlomo Warren, who's coming to us from Amherst, Massachusetts, also going to Kibbutz Ein Surim. I actually know his family, so Mazal Tov to the entire Warren family, and he has more family in Israel than in America, but both of his parents are American, and his older brother and sister have already made Aliyah to Israel. So we're so blessed to see the family continuing to come together. Mazal Tov, Shlomo, can't wait to see you soon.
Now, Daniel, there's the famous Jewish joke that 2 Jews, 3 opinions. We all know the joke of the Jew who builds 2 shuls two synagogues on an island, the one that he goes to, the one he doesn't.
It's a good one.
If a poll would have been, it's hilarious. If a poll would be taken, why the millions of Jews pick themselves up from their birthplaces and move to Israel, right? There's been millions of Jews that have done this in the last 150 years. So you're going to have as many reasons as people polled. There's no one reason to move to Israel. Some move to escape anti-Semitism, others to achieve the Zionist dream of developing a Jewish state, and others because they felt that this is what God commanded them. There are so many reasons to make Aliyah, and it's fascinating to when you get to talk to these people. So, okay, we're gonna go to Mayor on the bus. On the bus, this is an action interview. Mayor, let's see if you could pull this off on the bus. Let's hope the driver doesn't do any short stops. Go ahead, Mayor.
Thank you, Rabbi. I'm here with Joshua. Joshua, welcome live from the bus.
Oh, that's him.
Did we lose Mayor?
No, okay, we might have lost
Mayor. We'll get him back soon.
I'm pretty sure that Joshua is the Joshua I just talked about, Joshua Lefferman. Right there, check that out.
That's Joshua Lefferman.
That's Joshua
you got him.
That's great spotting by Mayor. We're going to see Mayor getting off the bus. Hopefully he'll get reception again. Now, look at the soldiers. Imagine you are someone who's come to Israel. You're a young person. You recognize that you're going to be drafted. It's part of your responsibilities, and you're wearing your Garin Savar t-shirt. You've thought about this for months, and you get off the plane. You get onto these buses, and who are you greeted by? Dancing soldiers. This is what Israel's all about. It's fascinating.
I want to know, did they practice that dance beforehand? Like, is that standard army training?
Military drills. Yes.
Is that what it comes down to?
Yeah, that would be pretty funny, but it could very well be. So we are. There's the first teddy bear that we are seeing. I don't know what that is. That does not.
That's the Halpern family, though. Welcome to the Halpern family.
Look at the emotions in that hug.
That's also Leah Vanunu. Aliyah Vanunu, who's also taken part in Zionist education programming this past year. We see Shlomo Warren, who was just speaking about before, right there in the purple lanyard, if you can pick him out. But it is so exciting. We also saw two Olim who actually spent their summer here in Israel on a program called SIJ, Summer in Jerusalem. And so that's Hannah Kaplun and Nava Bernholtz. And we're so excited that they were so inspired from their time in Israel. They've made Aliyah. We ask you, the audience, what is that moment that you love in Israel? When you come here, what do you think about? What keeps you connected? And let us know. Comment on our social media. Comment on this video wherever you're watching it. If it's a Facebook live stream or on YouTube, on our website. Let us know what connects you to Israel and what makes Israel so special.
Well, I got to tell you, for me, Daniel, living in Israel has its own advantages. whether it's simple things like inexpensive cell phone plans or shawarma, because the shawarma here is just unbeatable.
Superior.
Living in the historic homeland isn't just some abstract, very meaningful. There are physical, very concrete advantages of living in this country, living in the historic homeland of one's people, and it is nothing but a privilege. For thousands of years, Jews only dreamed of returning to the land of Israel, and today Israelis and Olim immigrants are given that opportunity to live in Israel every single day. It's the fulfillment, Daniel, of our grandparents' dream. The Jewish people prayed, they dreamed, and they waited thousands of years for this moment that you're watching for the return to the land of Israel and to govern it. The opportunity to live in Israel in relative comfort and ease compared to just 20 or 30 years ago is incredible. 20, 30 years ago, all these people would be bringing Ziploc bags with them for the Israeli relatives. Now you can get everything in Israel. And in fact, Daniel, we made this point last year on the broadcast. Now it's what do we bring back for the people in America when we go back to America? It's the request that we have. I brought shawarmas back for people.
Right. What haven't we brought back to America? Absolutely.
Sometimes I might have eaten them on the way.
I think more than comfort, Jews are thriving here. Just this past month, we hosted a program at Nefesh B'Nefesh called Shuk Olim, where we were able to welcome Olim businesses and Olim to support other Olim who have started. They went out on a limb, they put it out on the field, they started their own businesses, and now they're thriving. They're absolutely doing well in business. They're providing a service, providing amazing products that some of them brought over from America.
I actually asked the question. We're allowed to mention, as long as we mention 2 or 3 different companies, we're allowed to mention them. It's okay. Prohibition pickle was delicious. There was herring from a number of different places, including from one of my neighbors in Mitzvah Yericho that served herring. And there were Montreal bagels at that Shuk Olim. Popcorn, that was incredible. Candy from Koshmanayim. There was so many.
What wasn't there? So
things.
Mark your calendar. The next Shuk Olim is coming up. It's coming up in September 4th. You should absolutely join us. Join the fun. It's unbelievable, amazing food, amazing products, and you're not going to want to miss it.
Right, and I have to imagine that most people here are watching on our broadcast, are watching from Israel itself by now. I'm sure the New York people have gone to sleep. But there's an Israel calendar that you should know about. Israel calendar doesn't just have Nefesh B'Nefesh events. It has all types of events that appeal to Olim all over. And there are thousands, if not tens of thousands, of events listed on that calendar for you to go to. So that is something that you should definitely check out our Israel calendar.
Check it out on the Israel calendar. So many events, certainly in Jerusalem, with thankfully to our partnership with the Jerusalem municipality, who's always looking to do more for Olim. So you can check it out on the Israel calendar. You can check it out on the Nefesh B'Nefesh website, and you can check it out all that's happening on our Nefesh B'Nefesh campus right in the heart of Jerusalem.
Yeah, now you're looking again at this. Look at this picture. This is Israel in a nutshell right here. You have the Minister of Aliyah, a minister in the government leaning down, Tony Gelbart, our founder and chairman, and you have a little child with Israeli soldiers all around them, and with signs that say welcome and welcome home, because this is home. Now, these immigrants today, Daniel, I have to tell you, they're going to go through a certain phenomena, which we're all used to, which is that they're not going to be able to stop talking about moving to Israel. It's been 9 years for me. I can't stop talking about it. This is it. Now, the Rambam Maimonides wrote that one who truly loves something, he was talking about the love of God, just can't stop talking about it. And they said that's why Abraham, Avram talked about the love of God to everyone and everyone, even at the risk of his own life. And fresh Olim, new immigrants to Israel, are so excited about creating their own future, being part of something so much larger than themselves, setting the Jewish destiny, that of course they're not going to be able to stop talking about it.
Rabbi, I got to tell you, when I made Aliyah, I came in the middle of COVID. I made Aliyah right in the middle of coronavirus. There was no one in the airport. I did not get a band playing me off as I exited the plane. I definitely didn't step down onto the tarmac. And but I still tell the story of my Aliyah, even though I was the only Oleh on my plane, and then I was shipped off to a Corona hotel where I had to be in solitary confinement. Never again. But I still tell the story, and you see what's happening on the screen now. Our Olim are processing with Misrad Aliyah V'Klita. Part of their benefits when they get off the plane is that the government will give them what's called Sa Klita.
It says on that card. I'm sorry to interrupt.
What do you got?
You.
What do you got? I didn't see the card.
It says Bruchim Habayim on the card.
Oh, man,
welcome
amazing.
to Israel. It's an amazing thing. For thousands of years, our people imagined such a time where they could come to the land of Israel and other Jews would be running the country and helping them out. This is look at the
But look at the
all
money.
they're
Look at
lined
the
up.
money. They're not just getting a welcome card. They're not just getting their insurance card. They're getting a package from the government that is going to help them with their process. And every Oleh is going to get an envelope, literally an envelope full of cash.
And by the way, when you talk about like working with government officials, you imagine stressful. Look at the help that's happening here. Look how calm everybody is. Everyone's just waiting. They're getting their instructions, passing the papers back and forth, filling things out. This is not an area of what you would imagine would be stress, and this is really where Nefesh B'Nefesh comes in to help our Olim. You can see the airport is decorated with welcome signs for everybody. The whole idea of Nefesh B'Nefesh was to streamline and make this process so much easier, and it's been so successful. That's why we have all of our staff is at the airport, except for Daniel and I, and but everybody is there helping out.
And you know, on this topic of Nefesh just streamlining the process, it used to be the question: what are you going to do in Israel? How are you going to make it there? You know, do you know the language? How are you going to get a job? The opportunities in Israel are so abundant. It is amazing. But just in case you need a little bit of help, Nefesh B'Nefesh has an entire employment and recruitment department that is there to help you get a job. They will connect you, and we even have a program called Upgrade where Olim can come and they can take classes and get trained in a new skill that the Israeli market is looking for, and the overwhelming majority of participants of those classes get jobs right when they're finished. And even if you just want to peruse, see what opportunities are available for you, you can check out the Nefesh B'Nefesh job board available on our website. It is updated every day and has hundreds and hundreds of listings for job opportunities. With that, we're going to turn it over to Meir, who's in the arrivals hall now with the Olim.
Okay, you're on, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Rabbi. Okay, I'm here with Mr. Stephen Mortfin. Stephen, you flew from Baltimore. Yes. Welcome home.
Thank you.
We're standing here in the Masada Aliyah in the first terminal, in Terminal 1. Everyone's getting processed. You came, your family here, correct?
Yeah, our kids live here. Okay, my wife is right here.
Join us. All right.
Hello.
Welcome home.
Thank you. It's good to be home. Good to be home. What do you want to
tell the people at home who are watching, staying up late to watch you come home?
Thank you, everyone, for your help. It's good to be home, and hopefully we'll be here to join you when you come. Nefesh B'Nefesh is the best.
Amen. Okay. And why, other than your kids being here, why did you make Aliyah? What brought you to make the move?
Well, besides them being here, right. I think it's something we should have done a long time ago, but didn't. So here we are now.
Okay.
And now it's 40 years a dream coming true.
Right. Wow. Anything else you want to say? Anything you want to add?
It's good to be home.
Okay.
Very good.
All right. Rest up. Welcome home.
Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. Back to you, Daniel. Back to you, Rabbi.
Okay. Thanks so much, Mayor. That was a great interview. And we really appreciated that, especially
40
this
years.
message.
40-year
dream. Look at this, how the airport is decorated. The airport is decorated. By the way, look, there's the number. You should call now, *3680. You call that number. And that's from within Israel.
Right. Post Aliyah questions.
Well, but people, right, post Aliyah questions. Right. Okay. Good. Right. If you're one of our Olim, you see the Israel calendar sign over there. This is for our Olim to know the services. Nefesh doesn't drop you off at the airport and say good luck. We have a post-Aliyah department, and by the way, the warranty and the services of that department do not run out.
Let me know.
It doesn't expire. It does. It's 21 years. We have people calling up that made Aliyah 21 years ago for help, and we answer that phone call. That's what we are there for. Our over close to 80,000 Olim know that they can call us at any time and get help and get answers. So that's it. That's the arrival hall. You can see the people are being processed now, and soon they will come out of the arrival hall. You can see the band is all set up. They're going to walk out to lots of music, loud music, that's going to continue the festivities after they get their baggage and come out. And I have to tell you that the state of Israel, Daniel. I'm an educator, so I have to fall back every once in a while, and not just talk about the excitement of the moment, but talk about the history that we're seeing here. How remarkable it is. The state of Israel wasn't established because the Jews needed a safe haven. A lot of people think that. The State of Israel was established because, like any other people, the Jewish people have an eternal right to govern and live in the land of Israel. The homelessness of the Jewish people, the persecution of things like the Holocaust, the Crusades, the pogroms, they created an immediate necessity, but they did not create the cause for the creation of the state. The State of Israel was created to reestablish, not establish, reestablish the Jewish people's homeland. It was and continues to be the Jewish people's right to be in this land, and that's what we're seeing fulfilled here right in front of us now.
Right, and we do want to give a shout out to all of our, you see in the vests, in blue vests and yellow vests, Never staff. Some of them aren't even wearing vests, but they are working around the clock in every type of department. If you need help, if you want to make aliyah, if you're going to be a chayal boded, if you're going to go and do Sherut Leumi and you don't have a support system, we have a department for you. Thank you, Never staff, and that's a lot of the comments I'm getting on my phone right now that say thank you, Nefesh B'Nefesh, for making this happen, for helping me every step of the way. And in fact, this year we launched a new program in conjunction with the Jewish Agency and the Ministry of Aliyah and Integration called Aliyah in One. One day in New Jersey, where the Jewish Agency for Israel conducted interviews on site. You could get all of your documentation verified on site. You could get approved for Aliyah on site.
How can we make this any easier? It's absolutely incredible.
Fingerprinting, the apostille process, you got it all. And thank you to the Ministry of Aliyah and Integration and the Jewish Agency, as 350 people attended that Aliyah in one day.
Yeah, that's it's pretty remarkable what our colleagues can do. Now, Daniel and I can post all we want about our colleagues because we don't work on immigration, we work in education. So for us to boast, we're not boasting about our own efforts, we're boasting about our treasured colleagues' efforts, and it's incredible. Now, Daniel, I have to tell you, I'm going back history here, but the most significant development in Jewish history over the past 150 years has been the establishment of the State of Israel. After 2,000 years of a forced exile, the Jewish people can determine their own destiny on the Jewish people's historic homeland, on Eretz Yisrael. The Zionist dream is more a reality today than a dream. Let me say that again, because I want everybody to hear that. The Zionist dream is more a reality than a dream. You don't have to write it down. I have it here for you. The second most significant development is the mass aliyah of the Jewish people from all four corners of the earth. I imagine when the Jewish people were exiled out of their land, they looked and sounded all the same. But on their return, and this is a point I want to stress, 2,000 years has transformed them into different shapes, colors, languages. We're not a homogeneous group. We're all diverse. You saw that coming off the plane, how different certain people looked. Over the last 120 years, millions of Jews have left their adopted lands and returned home to Eretz Yisrael. And
you're going to have to keep talking. I'm just speechless right now.
Okay. Well, I've never had that issue.
Right,
so it's not a problem. One of my good friends likes to say that every Oleh has their story, and they're right. Whether they've walked thousands of miles. I have neighbors from Ethiopia who walked thousands of miles over burning hot sands in the African desert. And I have other friends in my town who escaped a collapsing communist Soviet Union. Or I have friends and myself who gingerly walked onto a charter flight in New York, and every Jew, every single one of those Jews, whether they're from Yemen or Ethiopia or France or the former Soviet Union or Ukraine. We had 10,000 people move from Ukraine. So they all that followed Avram's path, and each of them has a story. And that story inevitably includes some pain, but ask that new immigrant and you're almost guaranteed to hear that the pain was well worth it. The 2,000-year-old dream of living in Israel has made all the struggle worth it.
Absolutely, and as much as we focus on the story of the past, the story of the future I find to be so much more inspiring. We have a program here at Nefesh B'Nefesh called the Bonei Tzion Prize, where we recognize 7 different Olim across all different sectors, in medicine, in agriculture, in technology, in however you want to look at it, in culture. There's so many options, and we recognize their great contribution. So with that, we're going to turn it over to Mayor, who's in the arrival hall right now with the Minister of Aliyah and Integration, Ofir Sofer.
I might have to do some translation simultaneously on this one, so let's see. Go ahead, Mayor.
This is the
Minister of Aliyah, Ofir Sofer.
קודם כל זה מאוד מאוד מרגש.
לחוות כאן עם העולים את ה... אתה יודע,
זה כאילו להיוולד מחדש. אני מסתכל, אני לא עשיתי עלייה בחיים. אבל התחושה היא שזה כאילו להיוולד מחדש. אני ראיתי, אחד הרגעים שריגשו אותי, זה שראיתי מי ככה סופרת את המדרגות עם אחד הילדים, והם מגיעים ממש לקראת הדריכה באדמת ארץ ישראל, ארץ הקודש. ולחשוב על התהליך המדהים הזה של שיבת
To
ציון.
watch the
שהתחיל
children
אולי
come down the steps
לפני
and to have
יותר
Shivat Zion, the return to Zion,
יותר
is
מ100 שנה, אבל הוא הולך
over 100
ומתקדם
years.
ומתקדם, והוא ממשיך גם בימינו אלו. זאת אומרת, שום דבר לא מובן מאליו, ויהודים ממשיכים לשוב ארצה,
Nothing here should be taken for granted. This immigration process is not something that we should just assume is
חיילים
going to
בודדים
happen. To watch lone
שהשאירו מאחור
soldiers
את
come
המשפחה
here,
ובחרו להגיע לכאן, למדינת ישראל, לשרת בצבא ההגנה לישראל.
to
אין
be able
דבר
to come
יותר
and
מרענן
serve
ומחזק
in the army.
מלחוות את
Nothing,
החוויה הזאת.
nothing strengthens
אנחנו
us
כאן
and inspires us more.
כדי להגיד לעולים ולהגיד למי
Here
שמתעניין
to
בעלייה
tell
וחושב
immigrants
לעלות, שאנחנו
and people that
כמשרד
think
העלייה
of making
והקליטה,
Aliyah,
אנחנו
that
כאן
his
בשבילכם,
office, Misrad
לא רק
Aliyah,
ברגע הנחיתה,
the ministry
אלא
of
גם
Aliyah is
בתהליך
here to help
הקליטה.
them.
אנחנו
And even
נמשיך
just
לשפר
the process
ולהשתפר, הן בלימודי העברית והן
absorption that they're here for to help you.
בשירותי האקדמיה והחינוך. אנחנו בונים תוכניות מיוחדות, ייחודיות
They're
לחבר'ה
building
צעירים,
special educational programming
כי ההבנה
for
שלנו
young people,
שלצעירים מאוד
especially
קל לעבור.
immigrants,
וזה אחד
to
הדגשים
make the
שלנו,
process of
ואנחנו
being
הולכים
absorbed
לתת
into
על
the
זה
land of
ככה
Israel
כובד
easier.
משקל. למדינת ישראל, לממשלת ישראל, זה נותן הרבה הרבה ברכה, ואנחנו גאים בעלייה.
We are so proud of Aliyah.
תודה רבה.
And there's amazing inspirational words from the minister, and that was really special.
Thank you so much, Mayor, and thank you to the Minister, Ophir Sofer, for his continued support of North American Aliyah, of Aliyah from all over the world. He has made, I don't even know how many trips into America,
A bunch.
visiting diaspora communities to really understand what people need, how he could be helpful, and how he's building a better Aliyah process and a better country so everybody can feel welcome here, everybody can realize their dream of Aliyah, and him, along with Avichai Kahana, who is the Director General of the Ministry of Aliyah and Integration. Thank you so much for being here today and your continued support, your continued partnership in allowing us to do everything that we do.
Okay, now I want to bring up a quote from Theodor Herzl. Get ready to be inspired here. The Jews
I'm ready.
who
I'm
will
ready.
it shall achieve their state. We shall live at last as free men on our own soil and in our own homes peacefully die. The world will be liberated by our freedom, enriched by our wealth, magnified by our greatness. Every single one of those words has come true. It's not just a dream, as Herzl so famously said. The Jewish people did not earn, they didn't build and improve their state year after year by dreaming and waiting for someone else to build it. It's only by acting to achieve their dreams was our Jewish state built. The Jewish people didn't only work for their own benefit, they imagined using their achievements to improve the entire world. Today we see these intentions bear fruit. Israel helps people the world over, from Africa to America, from Ukraine to Haiti. We saw it in Nepal, we saw it in Surfside. Israel is the first ones on the plane. They're the first ones to get there to help people in need. And we are helping the world in so many different ways. It's not just cherry tomatoes. There are millions of different additions and benefits that the Jewish people have brought. Okay, so we're closing off our broadcast soon. I personally, I'd love to do this all day long, watch the Olim, but unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that. We're going to have to end off our broadcast. I want to
Absolutely.
thank you for joining us.
And we want to thank all of you, not just for joining us, but for being part of this process. Thank you to all of our guests, to the Olim certainly, and Mazal Tov to all of them. And
Heidi Rothberg, our sponsors, and Lou Cohen.
Absolutely, and thank you also for joining us today, the CEO of El Al, Dina Bental Ganancia, who is with us today, and thank you for all that El Al does, for their continued support. Thank you for everyone. Really, this is an unbelievable experience, and it's only made possible because of all of you, because of the great work that happens all year round for this moment.
And I want to thank we're sitting in a studio a couple miles out of the airport with the Go Live people who put this broadcast on. I want to thank them. They've been so helpful in hosting us and helping us through the process step by step. So we're going to sign off here. Why don't you go first? You can sign off.
I'm Daniel Galler. Mazal Tov to all the Olim.
And I'm Uri Pilachowski from Nefesh B'Nefesh, and thank you so much for joining us today.
We look forward to seeing you at the 65th Charter.